there she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra, goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened the summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic, as though the weave itself were coursing beneath her stony skin.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Well, go on then. It's rude to keep a goddess waiting.
Go on then, Gale. We'll be here waiting for you when you're finished.
Your goddess calls. Serve her or denounce her as you will, but you cannot ignore her.
Go on, my good man. You can't exactly deny a goddess now, can you?
Do what you must, Gale. Mystra has weighed upon your heart and mind for too long.
An audience with your goddess can go wrong. I should know. But do whatever you feel is best.
Well? Are you composing a poem in your head or some such?
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Am I? You're right. I am a strong, capable wizard. And this is no more than a casual reunion with an ex-lover. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. You're kind to say so, but this is hardly my first time in Mystra's presence. It's more the matter of what I'm going to say to her. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mystra has provided is for me alone. No one else is permitted to enter it, no matter how talented a user of the weave they are. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon anti. I'll let Mystra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep. You look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave, a temporary measure. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
Far from me to judge Gale for playing coy with Mystra, but I will not be cleaning up whatever mess she makes of him for it.
Mystra has forsaken Gale entirely. A crushing blow. But he is strong enough to persevere, I think.
Mystra has forsaken Gale entirely. A crushing blow. But he is strong enough to persevere, I think.
I do not trust Mystra to do right with the crown, but I think I trust Gale even less. He must give it to her when the time comes, or his lust for power might well consume him.
Wow. So that was Mystra. Pretty spectacular stuff. But I think Gale was right not to agree to do her bidding, no questions asked. I respect the gods, but they don't always understand what they're asking of us. Maybe immortality makes it hard to know what it's like to be one of us piggies. Proud of Gale, though. It takes some man to hold his own in front of the divine.
So, Gale's hedging his bets with Mystra? I can't say I blame him. Who'd want to hold a power like the crown of Karsus in their hands just to hand it to someone else? I know what my decision would be, but we're all different, of course.
This crown seems too powerful and dangerous an object for mere mortals to possess. Too dangerous even for Mystra. But I would sooner trust it with a god than with Gale.
I can't believe I saw her. After all this time. Relieved. Drained. Proud of myself for summoning the courage to go to her in the first place. And, if I'm being totally honest, a bit lightheaded. As if it wasn't enough to have seen her again. She didn't exactly summon me there for small talk. The Karsite weave. Within me this whole time. I knew the orb was no ordinary ball of magic before it to be Karsus's malignant creation. Gods! How did I not see that? True enough. There's a reason such unwitting heroes have been the backbone of lyric and legend for as long as both have existed. Even so, I was hardly some naive apprentice at the time. I considered myself an archmage, and yet was fool enough to be mistaken for a common conjurer. At least now I'm armed with the truth, and Mystra's expectations. It sounds like the door to redemption is open at last. All I have to do is walk through it, carrying the crown of Karsus. Thank you. There aren't many I'd trust to stand beside me on such a journey. Fewer still who would do so because they believed I deserved such a chance. If I could promise you one thing in return for your faith in me, it's this. I will use everything in my power to ensure we defeat this evil. I will not let you down. Now, I believe we've a date with an elder brain to get to. Shall we?
You see an altar dedicated to Mystra.
Whatever you want with this idol, I prefer we make it quick. Not sure I'm comfortable catching Mystra's eye, even if it is made of stone.
Mystra, mother of all magic, is the patron of wizards, and often called upon by other spellcasters as well. She's said to be a jealous goddess. Your studies of religion don't suffice to tell you more.
Trust me. It'll take a lot more than a few gold pieces and some fervent thoughts to convince Mystra to break her silence. On my account, at least. Commune with her as you see fit. I've no wish to stand between you and any inspiration she might deign to offer.